So it looks like those cryptic codes that the Russo brothers put at the end of the Avengers Doomsday teaser trailers might actually mean something, and somebody seems to have cracked the code. At least they think so. And at the same time, we have a new report about an epic battle that is going to happen in Avengers Doomsday that is being described as possibly the best Marvel battle that we've seen on screen of all time, which is saying something because we've seen some incredible battles in the MCU. What is going on, Cosmic Crew? Thanks for stopping by the channel today. Those cryptic message codes that were at the end of the trailers had a lot of people doing a lot of different crazy things to try and figure them out. Some people think they mean nothing. Some people think that they are indeed codes. And according to one person, this is coming from Marvel Scoop 616, these are actually true countdowns, but the countdowns don't count down to the movie. If you actually take the flashing cryptic codes, according to them, they are actual countdowns to February 17th, each one having a different countdown. They state this: the release date for the first trailer that we got was December 23rd, and the countdown at the end of that translates to 1 month and 24 days. The next release date was the Thor one, which came December 30th, and that countdown says 1 month, 17 days. January 6th was the Cyclops and the X-Men one. The countdown for that is 1 month and 11 days. Then we got on January 13th, the Wakanda and the Talokan one with the Fantastic Four, and that countdown was 1 month and 4 days. The thank you for over 1 billion views, that had a countdown as well, and that translates to 1 month and 1 day, which points to February 17th, which is tomorrow. Now, we haven't heard anything about the trailer dropping tomorrow, and I feel like if the trailer were to drop tomorrow, we would have heard something by now. Some of the insiders would have picked up on this, they would have heard rumblings, and they would have already said, hey, I'm hearing that something could happen tomorrow. So I'm not really thinking that the trailer is going to drop tomorrow, but perhaps they do something. I wouldn't get your hopes up, but if the math on this is correct and the decryption is correct, February 17th might mean something when it comes to Avengers Doomsday. I wanted to discuss this because a lot of people have sent this to me, and if it ends up being something, I wanted to put it out there, and kudos to the person who did this, but it might not be anything at all. I'm expecting it to be nothing, so I don't get my hopes up, and if it does happen tomorrow, it's a pleasant surprise. What's interesting is for the trailers, we are hearing actually that Marvel Studios, they're waiting for Spider-Man first. And unfortunately, that is not entirely up to Marvel. They're in partnership with Sony as well. So it's not exactly 100% their call. And according to a lot of different insiders, Sony has been pretty indecisive about when they want to drop the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. We've heard the Super Bowl. We've heard it was supposed to be last week. And now we're hearing from many insiders at this point in time that it's actually going to be next month. And as I stated in a previous video, the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer didn't release until 4 months before the movie came out. So we're probably on the same track for the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, which means if Marvel really does want to wait to do the Doomsday trailer, they want to wait for the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer to drop first, we might be waiting for a couple of more months at least to get the Doomsday trailer. So if you want to keep up to date with everything with that, anytime we hear anything, we be sure to do an update video on that. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Now, this next part I think is just insanely cool, and it is really something that I want to see out of the movie. But according to my Time to Shine Hello, Sir Ian McKellen's Magneto will clash with Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, and the fight is described like this: the most epic fight in the film and maybe ever in the MCU. And this is where things start to get really interesting, because we've actually been hearing rumors and rumblings that Magneto is kind of viewed as the villain of the movie in the beginning of the movie. Because remember, based on the reports that we've heard, that Thunderbolts post-credit scene, that ship that the Fantastic Four arrive in, according to a lot of different insiders, it's not just the Fantastic Four in that ship, but Doctor Doom is with them as well, along with Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, Captain America. So, due to the fact that Doom is coming with them to the 616 universe with the Fantastic Four, with Steve Rogers, that points to Doom not really being the villain in the beginning, or at least not being perceived as the villain in the beginning. Because, I mean, it's Doomsday is the villain, obviously, we know. But in the MCU, they won't know at first, especially since it really does seem like Doom, Victor Von Doom, comes from that 828 universe. So if he already knows Reed and Sue and he's going to them for help, then it's really not going to make it appear that Victor is the villain. It's not going to really be like that in the beginning as far as we know. So he needs to pin it on somebody else. And Magneto, based on everything we're hearing, is the perfect person to do so, because we've heard many reports at this point in time that the X-Men have actually already gone through multiple incursions. And it does seem like they're taking a page from the comics where they have to destroy the other universe, which would be destroy the other Earth for their Earth and their universe to survive. Now, we've heard a lot about this already. We've heard about Sir Ian McKellen went on live television and talked about how he was going to destroy New Jersey, how he filmed the scene about him destroying New Jersey, and he was doing a bunch of different things. And it was really funny. And it is kind of funny to see this, because you can tell some of these older X-Men actors don't have kind of the same media training that the newer MCU actors do. Like, we know Kevin Feige has a sniper on everybody, and they're told very specifically what they can and can't do. Seems to be a little different for Ian McKellen, right? He seems to be a little, just doesn't care as much, I would say, or it's done on purpose. I'll play devil's advocate and say that this is part of the marketing plan that Marvel Studios has planned for Avengers Doomsday, and he did this on purpose. But we do know that Ian McKellen, Magneto, he's going to destroy New Jersey. And if you take a page from, the comics, or even what we recently saw in X-Men 97, we know that Magneto has the ability to disrupt the Earth's magnetic poles. We know that he can essentially do a worldwide EMP. Right? We know he can manipulate the magnetic fields and cause natural disasters. So he has the ability really to destroy universes. We were talking the other day about the possible opening scene of Wolverine and Deadpool fighting Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and them possibly being sent there to destroy that universe. Some people were saying, well, how exactly would they destroy the universe? I don't think they particularly would, but the X-Men can, because they have just an immense amount of power. But Magneto himself has the ability to destroy the Earth, affecting all of the magnetic fields and the magnetic poles. So when it comes to a group of people or a universe who can really destroy other universes, the X-Men that are going to be in Avengers Doomsday can do that. Honestly, with Magneto alone, but then you add in everybody else and you add in some technology maybe used to help destroy the other planets, it's easy to see how they could be viewed as a really big threat. And it's really easy to see how Doom could simply go, these guys are the bad guys. They're destroying multiple universes out there. And now they've caused incursions and all of our universes are in jeopardy. We have to come together and we have to go fight them. And this person, Magneto, is their leader. Also, they have another leader, Professor Xavier, who can use psychic abilities. So they are a huge threat. Also, the field leader, Cyclops, as I always call him, because I'm waiting for Cyclops to take the leadership role live action and be done right. But you can clearly see that it wouldn't be really, really hard to peg Magneto and the X-Men as the villain. And that's kind of where the beginning of the movie seems to be leading. And we know that we're going to be getting an Avengers versus the X-Men scene. We know our Avengers are going to go to the X-Men's universe. So when they get there, since again, the X-Men have been through many incursions, they're probably just going to assume that this other team has come to destroy their universe to save theirs. And if Magneto is simply painting the X-Men out to be the villains for everything, well, the Avengers are just going to get there and start fighting. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I think Monica Rambeau is going to be the person who says, stop. Both of you are good. Stop. I think she's going to be the one who causes them all to stop. And then not Magneto, Doom is going to simply finally be revealed as the villain. And it's crazy to think about this. If you think about everything I just said, that's so much. But this is reportedly the beginning of the movie. There's a lot more that comes after that, because then eventually, of course, Doom is going to either reveal himself or somebody is going to reveal him, like Loki, to be the villain. We know Thor and Loki are going to reunite. At least that's what it sounds like based on what Chris Hemsworth said. He said it's going to be very powerful and emotional, so it sounds like it, and it makes sense story-wise. So I'm assuming Loki can see everything that Doom is doing, and he tells everybody Doom's actually the bad guy. Whether or not you, like, morally, you look at what the X-Men are doing and you think it's, good or bad, they are saving themselves. And I am curious to see how they would come to the decision to destroy another universe to save their own, because you would imagine that people like Cyclops or Professor Xavier would kind of have an issue against that. But then again, when you get to that place where there's another Earth in the sky about to destroy yours, and it's them or you make a decision. Maybe they are saving some people. Who knows? And hopefully the TVA are saving a bunch of different heroes from universes that are about to be destroyed and creating kind of a multiversal Avengers of their own, which we've heard is going to happen at least in some shape or form. So a lot is going to happen in this movie just within probably the first 30 minutes alone, which is great. This movie has been said by many different insiders like John Campea and many others. They've said that this is going to be kind of nonstop action. It's going to start off with a bang, and it's not going to stop. So I'm really excited about this. One more thing I would like to talk about today. Very interesting. For Valentine's Day, Robert Downey Jr. shared some pictures on Instagram. One, I want to point out that he once again shared a picture of Doctor Doom and Iron Man, once again implying that there is probably a big connection between Doom and Iron Man. There's a reason it's Robert Downey Jr. playing Victor Von Doom and not a new actor. They specifically chose him probably because there is a pretty big connection to Tony Stark / Iron Man. And this is just a funny one where Doom says, a peanut cluster just for me with a red heart and a green heart for Iron Man and Dr. Doom. One is a bouquet of flowers just with Doom's face on them. And then some other are chocolates where it crosses out Valentine's Day and, well, just Valentine's. And it says Happy Doomsday. But then he shared this one. It's Dr. Doom with his sleeve pulled up. He's flexing. On his bicep is a heart with the name Susie over it. Now, Susie, if I'm not mistaken, is the name of Robert Downey Jr.'s wife. But this could also be in reference to Sue Storm. We have seen the leaked concept art for Avengers Doomsday. Dr. Doom is on a throne. To his side is Doctor Strange, or Sheriff Strange from the comics. On the other side is Sue Storm and Franklin Richards. In the Secret Wars comics, he literally basically replaces Reed. He takes his family. He is the husband to Sue and the father of Franklin and Valeria. Literally takes Reed's life. And that's actually like a big thing. When him and Reed kind of confront each other for the first time, he's like, you took my entire life. And Peter Parker, Spider-Man, even says, like, we couldn't help to notice, you kind of made yourself a ruler and king over everything. We're absolutely shocked. It's actually pretty funny. So this could be for his wife, but there's no pictures of him or his wife on this. It's just simply all related to Doomsday is what we assume. So I think this is indicating that Dr. Doom is probably going to like Sue Storm in Avengers Doomsday. We did hear a rumor that at one point in time, Doom in another universe had his own family. That rumor, once upon a time, said his family was actually Sue Storm and Franklin. His wife was Sue, and his son was Franklin. And it was his son, not Reed and Sue's son, and then Doom came in after the fact. But no, Doom got with Sue. They had a son. They named him Franklin. If that is the case, and his universe was destroyed, and he goes back and he sees the Sue of the 828 universe, I'm assuming that he'll probably have feelings for her and will probably want her. Even though it's not exactly the same, I'm sure that'll be somewhat, I'm sure it'll come into play somewhat. And then you have Namor, who is also reportedly going to have the hots for Sue, which of course is in the comics as well. So there might be a little bit of a love square here, a love triangle, depending on which way they go with this, but I do think this is Robert Downey Jr. possibly teasing Doom and Sue, since we have seen that leaked concept art. But go ahead and let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about those cryptic messages and Magneto versus Doom, and essentially Magneto kind of being pegged as the villain in the beginning of Avengers Doomsday. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Avengers Doomsday and Marvel news. And you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.